Freaky Friday is intended for adults and is a show featuring adult conversations. Topics may vary, but are focused on human sexuality, fetish, and topics of intimate nature. Some may feel uncomfortable watching this show, and some topics may take you out of your comfort zone. We encourage everyone to stay and learn, as we hope this is an educational show, but stress that viewer discretion is advised. And if a topic makes you feel uncomfortable, please do not continue watching. Welcome to Freaky Friday. Welcome to Freaky Friday, where we dare to talk about taboo topics like fetish, bondage, sex, vibrators, and more. This isn't your dad's Friday night programming, but your mom loves it. Welcome to Freaky Friday, hosted by Mr. Anderson, who is the unboxable, uncanny advocating creator known as the Indie Comics Devil, who will tempt you with his devilish tales of fetish, monsters, and more. Also the giver of free hugs and spends. Everyone watching this program will get virtual free hugs and spends. It's time to get on with the show. Welcome to Freaky Friday. Music provided by the YouTube Audio Library. Produced by Silent Partner. Song name, Tied Up. Warning and disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this live feed are those of the guests, speakers, and or hosts, and do not necessarily reflect the beliefs, official policies, ethics, or positions of the content providers, advertisers, additional hosts, and or guests, hosting sites, groups, or entities attached to this programming. Viewer discretion is advised. And this week we have something special for you. I got to sit down with the creator of the Satanic Coloring Book for Backer Paws this week, and we cut it up. You can find that full video if you want to watch it, including some other great projects, at backerpaws.com this week. But I figured I'd give you something different. The Satanic Coloring Book definitely fits in with our Freaky Friday theme. Enjoy the program. To keep as a collector's item and one to actually draw on? Is there like a 2-pack offer? I actually have to look it up.
So there's 2 books. There's volumes 1 and 2, right? But then when you get either of those packages, there's 7 variant covers for 1 and 6 for 2. So when you back it in the add-on menus, you can just add on like +1s. So
and remember, I call myself the Indie Devil, so I don't have a problem going in there. The first thing I thought is, like, how much pushback am I going to have? Have you seen any of that? Has anyone like sent you the letter of like, because I've gotten letters just calling myself the Indie Devil about how I'm trying to rule the world, and I said thank you, subject, for being aware of your place in it. Have you had anyone like really call you out on this, or did they kind of just let you be in your lane?
There's definitely been some level of pushback. It's kind of a general level of kind of stupid. The most recent one that I saw was on Facebook, where I put it in a coloring book group, and a lady was like, do you have animals being hurt and tortured in this book? And I'm like, no. Do you want to see pictures of tortured animals? And she, well, no, I don't like that. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm glad you asked, but there's not. So this is basically a collection of work. Hey everyone, I'm Jason Lennox, aka Lennox Artist on Instagram and Twitter, and I am the creator of the Satanic Coloring Book, volumes 1 and 2, currently on Kickstarter. So I'm excited to be back again on the great Backer Pod. So this is basically a collection of work that I've done for about 6 years, give or take. And they were initially just some freelance pieces that I did for people where they were asking for things that were satanic and occult. And then I just started to basically build up a small treasure trove of themed material that was all, satanic in nature. And then my friend Julia from DuBois, Pennsylvania, had mentioned to me on several occasions I should think about taking the black and white work and making a coloring book.
Now, one of the things I'm going to do is, because we have a show called Freaky Friday that explores, the freakier side of creation and all that, and I think this would be a perfect fit, I'm going to cut up some of this video today to actually build together an entire video for people to watch. So if you're watching this on Freaky Friday, by the way, this was part of Backer Pause. That's why it's a little different. I just wanted to voice over now. So
Lady Vi did the voiceover for us.
okay, there we go. And Ben quickly asks, cool. So this is the perfect fit for that. So anyone who's wondering why we're looking at a Kickstarter, this is why, because of the crossover that perfectly fits. Plus the theme of it, and it's you hit gold by going on Halloween. The fact that you're in October, there is not a better month for this actual Kickstarter than this month. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, you can thank my wife Crystal for that, because I was like, well, maybe we'll do it late, and my wife was like, you have to get this thing going for Halloween or you're stupid. And I was like, oh yeah, maybe I should listen more. So yeah, she definitely was like, what are you thinking not having this on Halloween? Come on.
Are there a lot of Satanists out there? I thought that was a horror movie thing.
Well, Ben, I think there's definitely more of them than you think. A lot of them love horror films. So, yeah, there's more of them than you think. Is there some, hard and fast number that there's so many in America? I have no idea. But yeah, they're definitely out there in some small numbers, probably in every community. Some of them are probably more open than others. So, if you had Satanists in San Francisco, they are most likely by far more open and out than a Satanist in, let's say, Topeka, Kansas, who may kind of keep it to themselves. But I think that's a great question. So yes. And
even looking at what they actually have done, I don't want to say it wrong. Is it the Satanic Church or Satanist Church?
So real quick, and that's a great question. So the Church of Satan was founded by Anton LaVey in the 60s in San Francisco. So that's kind of like the old school satanic group. They're not as public, whereas the Satanic Temple started about a decade ago, and they are the Satanic Temple. So you see them more in a role of an activist group, where again they will tend to do more public protesting and things of that nature. So those two groups are separate. And here's the thing: neither of those groups proselytize. I am not in either of those groups, but it is important, I think, to state who they are, because a lot of people do conflate them, but they are not. So if you went up to a Church of Satan member and said you're in the Satanic Temple, they would probably get upset because that's not their church. So think about Church of Satan is 60s, Satanic Temple is about 2010. And like I said, the Hail Satan documentary, that was Satanic Temple, not.
There are a lot of Satanists out there.
Check out that documentary, Hail Satan, which, Rob, is that available on any streaming services? Do you know? Is that where you saw it?
We did actually find out, by the way, later in the program. I just didn't want to show it here just for copyright reasons, just in case, because we're showing the Hulu site, but it was available on Hulu. You can find it on Hulu. Just wanted to break in right now and to let you guys know that. That's why I played the clip twice. Back into it.
Yes.
How did that come to be?
Well, my first thought was get crayons, and I found out that crayons are a lot more expensive. And then one of the models that was on the book had said to me, "You're asking adults to color with this is a form of torture that no one likes. Please don't do crayons." So I went colored pencils. Because yes, I do think they are easier to use, but I wanted to try to put things together that were cool add-ons. And if you got a coloring book, you got to have something to color with, right? So get your colored pencil set and, get your enamel pin, get your sticker, just to try to have things that you could go along with. I brought in Lady Vi to do mine, and Lady Vi, her persona is her job, right? So she gets paid to make content that's her. So when she did the voiceover, it was funny because she's, real crisp, real well-spoken. Like, I just sound like a schlub. I wouldn't want to have me do voiceover. So it's like you bring in someone and you pay them because she sounds really cool. And I think doing that is a much better way to represent it than me being like, "Hey, it's Jason. Here's the Satanic color," because I'm not here to present me as like, you know what I mean? So I learned through being on Backer Pause, like, get voiceover. So I was like, I'm going to go to someone that's really cool that has, an interest in the project to say, let's get her involved because her voice is really cool. And, you know, with her job as a dominatrix, like, she sounds like she's in charge. She's telling you what to do. You know what I mean? So if we want people to do stuff, why not? You know what I mean? And again, does it cost some money? Yeah. And you should pay your voiceover artists. They shouldn't work for free. But, you know, again, I think a lot of these things could be aided by that. And I really took that to heart. I really, really, really believe that voiceover is a way to go, because I think you said this to me, Rob. What if someone can't see it? You know what I mean? Like, what are you telling them? And if it's just music, it's like, what? I didn't hear anything. You know what I mean? Or like, explain it to me, tell it to me. I think it's huge. And like I said, I think Sacrifice had, I mean, the monsters and stuff were really cool, but I was just like, without some context, like, it was like, what am I even looking at? I don't know.
I'll say this, it's a dope book, and so is yours. We have just over a minute. Tell them where they can find you on the socials.
So at Lennox Artist on Instagram and Twitter, LENOXARTIST. I'm on Facebook at facebook.com/Jason Lennox Illustrator. And it's also easy to go to my website, jasonlennox.com. I have the Kickstarter pinned to the top of my website. It's pinned to the top of my Kickstarter. It's pinned to the top of my Facebook, and it's pinned to the top of my Twitter. And it's a constant churn on Instagram, but it's always near the top. So any of those things, at Lennox Artist, Jason Lennox Illustrator, or jasonlennox.com. And if you want to go check out my Etsy, it's Lennox Art Emporium. So easy to find in lots of places.
I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. I really liked hanging out with him and cannot wait to see what he comes up with next. And I promise I didn't pay him for any of the shout outs. It was really humbling to know that you created something that creators really appreciate. I wanted to show you the trailer for the book as we leave today. My name is Mr. Anderson. I'll play mine right after that, and then we're out of here. Next week on the show, we will do our normal headlines, kinky headlines. And then the first week of November, we're going to switch gears and do a Halloween special. We'll do a Halloween review for the first week of November. And then after that, we're actually going to turn Freaky Friday into a more holiday themed show going into the holiday season. So Freaky Friday will continue, but we're going to be Festivus. How that's going to work, I don't know yet. I'm still trying to figure out. As soon as I figure it out, I'll let you guys know. Until then, my friends, stay kinky and stay freaky.
Greetings, sinners. Join Jason Lennox as he presents the Satanic Coloring Book, Volumes 1 and 2. Volume 1, Rituals, focuses on the ceremonies of Jason's infernal and erotic satanic artwork, featuring Jason's signature satanic stained glass and heraldry, legendary satanic characters Baphomet and Lilith, dark and grotesque rites designed to arouse and fascinate you as you color. Volume 2, Animals, is a second all-ages journey into the world of Satanism, with a demonic bestiary for you to explore, highlighted by devil dogs, unholy goats, and Jason's favorite, satanic cats. Are you ready to color deliciously? Then hail Satan and back the Satanic Coloring Book, Volumes 1 and 2. Now on Kickstarter.
Not only can you find that on Kickstarter, but if you want to find the link, look in the description of the video you're watching, and or go to backerpaws.com for the official link to get onto that Kickstarter. Mr. Anderson is the unboxable advocating creator known as the Indie Comics Devil, who will tempt you with his devilish tales of fetish, monsters, and more. He is the giver of free hugs and spanks, and he is a partner in Continual Comics. Check out everything Anderson at chainlinks